Today's video is going to be a then versus now about hair, things that I have learned as a hairstylist. This is just going to be a quick little video, so if you guys want to see more videos like this, let me know a few requests down below and I'll be happy to look into those. So then versus now, I do want to cover a few things of what I used to do versus what I do now as a hairstylist. So I am guilty like many other people out there, and I used to do my hair at home with box color and not very good techniques. So that's kind of what this video is going to be about. When I was in high school, I did do my own hair out of a box with a box color, and I used to sort of trim my own bangs and things like that. But I do want to cover obviously the things I did wrong then and then the things I have learned to do right now. So like many people, I could not afford to go to a salon to get my hair colored every 6 weeks or so. So what I used to do in high school, unfortunately, was use box color. I used to go to my local Walmart and go down the aisle and pick a shade and said, I want that hair color, and a lot of the time it did not come out anywhere near that hair color. So I did eventually start going to Sally's Beauty, which is definitely a step up from using box color that you can get at the drugstore, because you can choose your level and then mix it with the specific developer that is needed. So that is definitely something that I would recommend doing if you are box coloring now, is trying to at least go to Sally's and decide the level that you want and the developer needed. And the people that do work there typically are not licensed stylists, but they can sort of guide you in the right direction for the most part. What I used to do back in high school when I did my own hair, I would go and get a box, pick whatever color I thought I needed or wanted at that time, and regardless of what I had previously colored on my hair, I would just slap the whole color box on my head, let it process the full time, and usually what would happen is my roots would be lighter than my ends because I was depositing and depositing and depositing. And once you start depositing, color does not lift color, so you're just going to get a buildup of color on your ends. So they are going to most likely, if you are going, say, medium to dark brown shade, the ends of your hair are more than likely porous, so they are going to go closer to the black range. So you're going to end up with hot roots, which is just a lighter root color than your end color. So if you are doing your hair at home like I used to do, what I would recommend doing is root touch-ups, and there are a ton of videos on doing those. I even have videos that would help you out for that, so make sure to look through my videos. I have hair color videos on my channel. So I would recommend the root touch-up, so avoiding the ends. So if you are wanting to go a completely different color, what I would recommend doing is going to Sally's, picking out the color that you want, and then getting the deposit only hair color. That is going to really help you out. And if you want to deposit a different color on your ends, you have to really look into what your natural is and what you previously have had, which honestly is really hard to do at home. So just make sure that you are really educating yourself before just saying, I want that color. Because let's be honest, a lot of the times your color turns out nothing like the girl's does on the box. Another thing I used to do is trim my own bangs, which is completely fine if you do have a guideline, but I know what eventually happens, this used to happen to me all the time, was once you start trimming your own bangs, you keep adding more and more in, and then half of your head literally ends up being bangs. So the front is a lot thinner, and then your bangs come super far back. So what I recommend doing if you are going to trim your bangs at home, say whether they be side swept or straight across like a full fringe bang, that I recommend doing the triangle parting. So wherever your part is, you kind of take the point of that, and you can kind of just gauge how thick or thin you want your bangs to be, and then you draw a triangle forward. So it does eventually only cover the very front, and I don't recommend going beyond this area here, which is like halfway beyond the brow or wherever the arch of your brow is. And then you can kind of slide cut, which is basically like a rocking motion with the scissors, down to blend in with the rest of the layers around your face. That way your bangs are not going to be like straight out to here and then have all of your hair long. That is kind of what a 5-year-old haircut looks like. What it will be is just a gradual, nice bang area, and you can do that with side swept as well. And if you go one way or the other, usually it doesn't matter, because if you're leaving it longer on the edges, the area in the middle is going to be shorter regardless, even if you are side sweeping them, because it has to travel farther one way or the other. I hope that kind of makes sense. So if you are going to do your bangs at home, what I recommend doing is parting it in the triangle parting. It's a little bit is definitely better than starting out with too much hair. So there is one other tip I can think of. It has to do with styling. So what I used to do was crank up my flat iron or curling iron to the hottest temperature and use that. I did used to use heat protectant, and I do recommend always using a heat protectant, whether you're just blow drying, flat ironing, curling, anything like that. That will just put a barrier around your hair and protect it from the heat that you are using. But I would not recommend cranking up anything to the highest heat unless you have super coarse and curly hair. I have fine texture hair, and I would consider the amount I have a normal. I have slightly wavy hair, but usually when I blow dry it, it goes decently straight, so I don't need to do much to make it go a certain way. So what I would recommend doing, if you have a heat setting, an actual degree setting on your flat iron, start out around 300 degrees. You can always go up from there, but once the damage is done, it is done. There is no such thing as repairing split ends or damaged hair. You have to cut it off. So I would recommend starting with a heat protectant, number one, and then number two, starting at 300 degrees. And if you are finding that you are having to go over that piece multiple times, crank it up to maybe like 325 and just go up from there. You don't need to have 450 degree heat if your hair is fine or normal, unless you have super coarse and sort of really hard to manage hair. That is what that temperature, that high temperature, is for, is people that have trouble with their hair and have resistant hair that does not go straight easily. So those are just a few things that I have learned as a hairstylist in the salon. So things that I used to do versus things that I do now. So if you have any other questions about this that you want me to go over, make sure to leave those down below in the comment section. I am always happy to help you guys out. That is what this channel is for. So if you are new to my channel, welcome. I hope you stick around and subscribe. I hope you guys have an awesome day, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye, everybody.